All right, well, welcome back to another week of Master Menopause Metabolism with Andrea Tornis, hormone specialist. And today we're going to talk about the most buzzy conversation out there, peptides, what they are, what they do. Is it something for you? Are they unhealthy? Do you stay on them forever? Do you gain all your weight back? These are some of the things we'll be addressing and you will learn in this podcast episode. So buckle up, let's do it. All right. So if you are still not to coming to the conversation and understanding like what is she talking about? Peptides, what is that? Well, then this is the right episode for you because I am going to run down everything. So, this is Peptides 101, how they support fat loss, muscle, and hormone health. So, understanding how peptide therapy works in midlife women and why it's changing the conversation around women's health after 40. So, peptides are actual tools, and the body it actually helps the body restore signaling pathways. So people are calling it a med or the jab or the shot or whatever. But what it truly is it's turning on communication pathways that used to be brighter, more apt, and whatnot, but have become dimmed because we're aging, ladies, or we are declining in some way because our hormones have changed, or our stomach acid has decreased. There's so many different reasons we've talked about this. But what they do is they help your body to signal again, and they're grounded and designed for you. So, what are peptides? Well, they're short chains of amino acids, the same building blocks that make up protein. So, we're constantly talking to you about getting in your protein. But unlike proteins, peptides are small enough to act as precise biological messengers. So, what does that mean? It means traveling through the body, it triggers very specific responses. Think of them as a text message that your body sends to different systems, telling them exactly what to do and when. They work similarly to hormones, but with greater targeting, specificity, making them a powerful tool when the body's not actually doing what it needs to. So, what they can signal is the release of things like growth hormone. So, as we get older, that tends to turn down. We've talked about that. It improves our fat metabolism, which is actually also turning down, and supports muscle repair. So, that also is not as bright as it once was, reducing inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity. So one of the biggest reasons that we talk about balancing your meals and getting enough protein and whatnot in midlife is because of insulin resistance. And so what the peptide can do is signal to your body to respond to the insulin that's going out to open up the fat cell and give you energy. So it's pretty cool. Why women over 40 respond well to peptides. So midlife brings a cascade of biological shifts. So we have severe critical signaling pathways that begin to decline, and the effects show up in ways that feel frustratingly familiar, okay? So what declines? Our growth hormone output, our metabolic flexibility, our muscle recovery speed, our fat burning signals, our cellular repair. And what do we notice? Stubborn belly fat. I hear over and over again, like, oh, I'm not super overweight, but 15 pounds, I can't budge. It's all around the middle. Gradual muscle loss, something that isn't overt, but where we see less tone. Our bodies don't look as good. We eat less and less and get less results. That's all because of that. Poor or disrupted sleep, which happens when the liver isn't functioning well, and it's starting to increase our inflammation, slower metabolism. Those are all things that we start to notice. So no matter how much you get on the spin bike or do the exercise and cut the food back, it just doesn't give the results. So this is how the peptides help. They restore your cellular signaling again. They reactivate metabolic pathways. They support the hormone production. It actually can help for the hormones to produce better and for your body to metabolize the hormones how it's supposed to. They reduce systemic inflammation. So if you think of a big pimple, we've talked about inflammation, how that could cause, like if you're, dealing with a lot of inflammation, that's a lot of swelling, pus, who knows, lymphatic drainage isn't happening as well, brain, neuroinflammation in the brain, all of those things can really impact your overall life and they cause issues. Well, now a peptide can help that. And then overall improve your body composition, which means you're going to get more muscle, you're going to look more tight and toned, and you're going to feel better just by utilizing a peptide. Kind of cool. So different peptides have different jobs. So we're going to talk about the different peptides that are out there. And I feel like I'm pretty seasoned in this because I'm not just talking at you, I'm someone who's actually utilized them. Not super overweight either, but these are the ones I've tried. And these are the ones that are out there. So we have fat loss and metabolic peptides. So this is your Ozempic, your semaglutide, which is GLP-1. There's GLP-2s, which is like our tirzepatide, which has a GLP-GIP. So one kind of burns fat, gets rid of, that inflammation. The other helps with appetite, slowing digestion, etc. And then we have the retatrutide, which we actually have already, which is pretty amazing. So you've got your GLP, your GIP, and then you have your glucagon. So you have three different things in one peptide. And so just like the GLP-1 in Ozempic, it helps with appetite, it helps slower food digestion. But now then we add in the GIP, which helps inflammation. It can help your body to, heal its gut, things like that. So as a side effect, you lose weight. And then we have the retatrutide that has a GLP, the GIP, and then also has the glucagon, which helps to grow muscle. So you've got that added growth of muscle, burning fat effect, you get rid of inflammation, and then slows digestion and all of that. So those are the three for that. If you're wanting recovery and muscle recovery, you're going to want to go towards your TB 500, BPC 157. So the BPC 157 plus the TB 500 is a great stack to use to recover, get over injuries, to regrow cartilage, to basically get the tissue back in order and get that inflammation out there and gone. And so I've done the BPC 157. I can attribute to it has lasting results. It's not just a one and done. And then combining the TB 500 can kind of elevate those results. Then there's the growth hormone support. So there's CJC 1295, ipamorelin, sermorelin. Those are all going to signal your human growth hormone to activate more, which then helps you gain more muscle, sleep deeper, and you get all the benefits of that. So they used to have the, where you'd get those shots and then you'd eat 500 calories a day. And it would be like human growth hormone support. Well, this is better than that because you're not actually putting HGH into your body, which then your body doesn't exactly make HGH. It just has a higher level, but you're actually asking your body to, it's giving the signal for your body itself to make more human growth hormone. So the sermorelin, when I was on it, it really, really helped me gain 2 pounds of muscle in an 8-week reverse diet. And so that's exactly what it did. My sleep got a lot deeper. And basically when I went to lean out, I had those extra 2 pounds of muscle and it's great. So that was also, and then we have our healing inflammation, which is like the thymosin alpha 1, supports your immune modulation, systemic inflammation reduction. So let's talk about side effects and let's talk about microdosing. Okay. So what the hell does that even mean, right? What's a microdose? What's the difference, right? So microdosing means a really small frequent dose of peptides rather than a large infrequent one. The goal is to gently support the body's natural signaling. So we're not going to override it. We just want an approach that kind of prompts your biology to do what it needs to. So as you're doing all the lifestyle changes, now you have this extra tool that kind of sends these signals that says, okay, I'm eating enough protein, I'm working out. Now I need to get my gut lining in health. Let's get in line. Let's get the inflammation down. And then you see faster results and better results. It fine tunes what you're already trying to do that your body can't signal with protein alone, even though we do that and with hormone replacement therapy. So now we're adding fewer side effects, more stable results, better hormone balance, easier body adaptation. Small doses, it used to be traditionally these large doses once a week created peaks and troughs in signaling. It can overwhelm receptors and increases the likelihood of the really bad side effects. But when you do it in small doses, results become more consistent and easier. So gradual receptor activation is why it's tolerated better, lower insulin spikes, easier gut adaptation, and less metabolic stress. So all those are actually helping your body along with the lifestyle. So you're still strength training, you're still eating enough protein, you have an appetite, but you don't have quite the cravings for other things, which makes it really easy then to adhere to what you're supposed to. So what they can affect is your blood sugar. And so GLP-1 receptor agonists and dual agonists like tirzepatide and semaglutide work on the body's metabolic control systems. So they offer benefits for midlife women whose insulin sensitivity has shifted with hormonal changes, which most of ours has, ladies. Like, I don't care if you're the best of the best. It's just going to happen when your estrogen goes away or becomes erratic. And then you're dealing with the after effects of that. Even if you have the hormone replacement therapy, it's still not going to necessarily bring things up metabolically as much as you want them to. So this can actually improve your insulin sensitivity, increase your satiety, so it reduces the cravings, so you're feeling less deprived. You're not after you're eating like, oh, is the ice cream in the fridge? But yeah, the slow gastric emptying, food moves more slowly through the digestive system, preventing sharp glucose spikes after meals, and it stabilizes your energy. So improved focus, reduced fat storage. You can actually start to see some abs. But they're tools, they're not lifetime crutches. So what is going to sustain the results, and do you come off them? Yes, 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 you do. So adequate protein intake, consistent strength training, balanced hormone levels, quality sleep, stress regulation, all in the same. So you can't go on this and drink wine every night and, not eat all throughout the day and expect the results. So that is just not how they work. It basically is signaling your body to heal. So peptides create an environment for change, but lifestyle is what makes it permanent. So peptides work best when combined with protein intake, strength training, blood sugar balance, sleep optimization, inflammation reduction, and hormone optimization. So what clients that we're working with typically notice is weeks 1 to 4, appetite changes, reduced cravings are often the first signals. Many women notice less inflammation, better mood, and better sleep quality. Then we get to kind of the middle, which is weeks 4 to 8. They have visible fat loss. So their energy improves noticeably, their blood sugar becomes more stable, and the metabolic shift starts to feel real. Then we're into months 3+, which is meaningful body composition change, improved metabolic flexibility, sustainable fat loss with preserved or improved lean muscle. So it takes a little bit, is what I'm saying. It's not a magic pill. It signals some things. And so it's doing this work underneath. And so it still needs you to do the work. So it's not because you're eating less that you're losing the weight. That is not what's doing it. It's literally that it's kind of signaling for the inflammation to go down, the insulin sensitivity to be less. So then low level, your body as a side effect gets rid of that inflammation, loses weight that way. And then it also, is doing some things on the background with your gut and whatnot. So that is what you're seeing. So it is a long-term game. And safety matters. So, we need no current meds, your baseline blood work. We like to do labs before we jump in here. Ongoing individual response. So some common questions I receive about peptides is, Do I stay on them forever? No. Most protocols are time limited. Once metabolic signaling is restored and body composition improves, lifestyle factors maintain your results. Will I lose muscle? Certain peptides can reduce appetite significantly, so adequate protein and strength training are essential. So you won't if you do the right things for your body, then you're going to be fine. Will the weight come back? If lifestyle habits aren't in place, some regain is possible, but peptides rest the environment. Your habits make the change stick. So if you think about if you've ever had an injury and they give you a cortisone shot, basically it takes away the pain, it takes out the inflammation, and it lasts for a certain amount of time. If you do the work to strengthen around that injury, then when your cortisone wears off, basically you are going to be stronger and less apt to re-injure that area. So that is the best way I can say, will the weight come back? No. If you've done the work and then you're not crazily overeating and whatnot, and you're continuing to strength train and work on things, you've done it. So you can maintain it easier. Are they safe for women over 40? When properly prescribed and monitored, they have a strong safety profile. Medical oversight is non-negotiable. And what happens when I stop? Results are maintained when nutrition, training, sleep, and hormone balance are optimized. So basically, we're getting all the conditions right. And then, stopping without lifestyle support could, yes, lead to regression. So hopefully that, tells us the right thing. They're not magic, they're biologies, though they're working smarter to restore your metabolism, reduce inflammation, improve hormone signaling, and support your fat loss. So if you would like more information on this, like I said, we do have the 3 different types. We have BPC 157, we have sermorelin, we have lots of different ones that we can look into for you if you're feeling like, man, I've tried everything and I am just hitting a wall. We could get some labs as well. So reach out to me and schedule a diagnostic. We can talk about it. It doesn't cost anything. You can get an idea with what you're up against, what could be different, and go from there. All right. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully this helps clear up some of the questions on what is a peptide and how can it help. All right. Thanks. See you guys next week.